Hey, what is going on everyone? How's it going my fellow collectors? This is Regan. Thanks for tuning back into our channel. In today's video, we are going to do some posing session as I promised. Did I promise that? No, just kidding guys. Well, as I said from my previous unboxing video of this Lizard Diorama base and Amazing Spider-Man, I am going to do some poses for these two figures, okay? But first, please do me a favor. Follow me on my Instagram, and most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost you anything guys, but it really does help this channel grow. It keeps you up to date, especially if you are into hot toys. Okay, without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, all the poses that I'm going to do here is straight out of my mind, meaning I didn't really copy those blogger posts, but you could, to make your life easier. If you're looking for some ideas for your display cabinet, for your display rack, I think you could copy that. Even that, Facebook page of Hot Toys, you could check that out. But I think some poses are pretty common, especially if you always watch movies of Spider-Man or even played some video games of Spider-Man from PlayStation. I think you could easily think of your own poses for your Spider-Man figures. Okay, first up right here, I think this is very common. So it's kind of like swinging over Lizard, holding that web string, two hands. You could do some arch there, big arch, and then make sure that both knees are bent, so it's kind of like a leg curl. And then next up right here, it's kind of like the aftermath of that swing, so both leg goes to the front, and then make sure that both legs are straight, and then you could add some crunch in there while the other arm is swinging towards to the back because of the momentum, while the other hand still holding that web string. And then next up right here, I think this is also very common. So it's kind of like running in the air. What I mean is kind of like hurdling. So one leg to the front while the other leg is to the back. But this time he's holding the serum, taking away from Lizard. And then the other hand still holding that web string, right? That looks so cool. And then this time we're gonna fight back. So we're gonna add some extra web shooting effect on the other hand while we're still holding that serum on the other hand. And you could twist his body a little bit, so you could add some extra style there or posture. So the other leg is kind of like bent and then the other leg straight. And then you can lift the left arm holding that serum, really moving away from Lizard. But if you're going to add some extra tilt, like more dynamic look for these two figures, I think it's not gonna work because the weight is somehow it's not balanced, meaning the base is not heavy enough to handle the weight of the other figure. But I think the figure is not that really heavy, but maybe because of the pole, so that's why it's kind of like, putting all the weight to the side. But if you're going to add some extra double adhesive tape underneath the base, I think it's gonna work. And it's also a good idea, especially if you have height problem on your display cabinet, meaning the space of the height. I think this will be a great idea. Next up, we're gonna do another fight scene, but this time we're gonna use the leg, or we're gonna do some kicking there towards to the face of Lizard, but still doing that tilt on the left side, which is still not safe. Again, if you want to use this one more dynamic look, you could add some extra double adhesive tape, so at least it will balance the look of this figure towards the Lizard, which is actually really cool, right? And still holding that web string on the other hand. Okay, however, the waist holder doesn't really hold up the figure. I already tightened this one, but maybe the figure is too heavy for that holder, or maybe I should tighten more that screw of that waist holder. And again, because of the weight of the pole at the same time, so even if I put that figure more to the back, still not gonna carry the weight of that figure. So it's either you're gonna put some extra weight on the base, or you're gonna add some double adhesive tape underneath. Now what I'm going to do is move the figure to the other side. We're still gonna do the kicking pose, but this time he's gonna be in a higher position to keep that balance better, and he's still gonna hold the web string on the right hand. We're gonna switch the leg, and there you go. It looks absolutely really cool because it looks more realistic now because of the face of Lizard moving away from the foot, and that is amazing. Of course, if we could do a kicking pose, we're also gonna do some punching pose, but this one is not a Superman pose, it looks like, right? So what I did is I tried to lower down that dynamic holder, the dynamic pole to the side, and it's more closer to the base, so the Spidey is also closer to the Lizard figure, and the hand is closer to the face, so it looks more realistic now because again, that moving away of the head of Lizard is really nice to play with those punches, kicking, right? That is absolutely really cool. You could also use this one if you have height problem on your space, on your display cabinet, and it's absolutely really cool. And also, I'm gonna add some knee punches, but I don't remember Spidey doing some knee punches or knee uppercut. Maybe I just forgot already, but actually, you can do whatever you want, any punches, because that head of Lizard is really fun to play with, especially with that fighting scene look, right? This time I'm gonna use the web string again. I actually really like this pose. So it's kind of like getting that serum away from Lizard's hand. So what I did is I put or attached that long web string together with that open web effect. And then I add some glue tack, or I put some glue tack on the serum to attach to the Lizard's hand. Actually, you could do a different posture on the body. It's up to you as long as you're going to do the same look. I think you could do other poses or posture on the figure, which is absolutely really cool, right? Okay, the next pose that I'm going to do is very straightforward. It might be boring for some of you guys. No, because this one is very common. So it's going to jump over Lizard again. So what I did is I put the Spidey hand on top of the head of Lizard, and he's about to grab the serum, away from Lizard hands. And then it depends on you what kind of form do you want on the body, especially on the legs. You can see right there. Actually, you could do this one to other, diorama base or even to the drone, right? Remember that? So yeah, I think this one's also good if you have the height issue or if you want a lower position on your display. Okay, on this next post will be kind of like the same on what I did on the first part of this video. I don't know why I did that, but sometimes it happens. You're doing the same post on a different angles, different positions, especially if you're doing some pictorials or photography for your figures, right? So what I did here, I tried to lift that pole a little bit higher or the higher position and doing the same pose using that web shooting effect towards the face of Lizard and holding the serum on the other hand. And it looks cool. And you can see right here, I'm doing the same pose, kind of like similar pose, holding the head of Lizard and then jumping away and then holding the serum, but on a different posture of the body, different form of Spider-Man. I think that looks so cool, right? It works. Okay, on this next pose, if you're kind of like lazy, you don't want to use that waist holder, if you're kind of like afraid to damage the suit of the figure, then you could do like standing position on the side of, the base, then that's it. But actually, you could use the standard base of, the figure, the Spider-Man, and you probably could do a lot of poses here, and it's actually safer. At least you don't need to think about the balance, it's easier to pose. But the consequence here, you have a limited like height. If you want to do some more like dynamic poses, then you're probably not gonna use this one. And the next pose that I did here looks really cool. I think I like it. I kind of like it. Although it's kind of like similar again from my, previous poses, punching the face of Lizard. But this time, the position is more dynamic, I would say. He's about to punch Lizard, and then the body is more straight to the side. At least it doesn't look like Superman pose. And then he's holding the serum. Looks really cool as well. And I also did change the hand using the web string, and I find it really, really cool. So it's kind of like swinging around Lizard, around the base, right? This next pose, I think it's also very common. He's kind of like swinging towards to the Lizard, towards to the base, and using both strings on both hands, which is, I find it really cool as well. But again, this is very common, so if you want to, for photography, for pictorial, I think you could do this one as well. And the last pose that I'm going to share with you guys is pretty common. I would say the easiest pose that you could do on your Spidey figure, or I call it the signature jump of Spider-Man, holding the web string, but I think I placed the hands wrongly, but it's okay. So it's up to you if you want to open legs or bend the legs. I think it's fine. Then the position of the height, it's up to you as well. You can do a lower position closer to the base or higher, or the maximum, height level of that pole, right? Now, this next part of the video, I'm going to do some quick comparison of the base, especially with that integrated suit. That Doc Ock tentacles coming out from the base is absolutely incredible as well. By the way, these diorama bases has a different weight because I found out that the integrated suit diorama base is a little bit heavier than the Lizard base. So I think that's the reason why I could balance more on the integrated suit. So the heavier it is, the better balance you could get. So especially on the tilting to the side, more like going around the base, not just only in the center, okay? Spider-Man. Okay, my final thoughts on this amazing Spider-Man together with that diorama base, I would say absolutely incredible. I personally like diorama base because for me it really gives like more presence to the character, to the movie actually. So that's why I really like the bases. So I think for me it is a must-have if you are planning to complete the line of Spider-Man movies, especially that No Way Home. I think it's going to look great in your display cabinet together with the other Spider-Man with that diorama base as well. And I really can't wait for that Tobey Maguire version and that Sandman diorama base. Oh my gosh, absolutely incredible, guys. Okay, I think that's about it. That's all I could say. Let me know your thoughts on these figures, and let me know your thoughts as well on my posing showcase. It's not a lot, but I hope you enjoy it. So comment down below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Okay, until then, see you in the next one. Peace.